You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Well, how trash ass is Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin when Texas Democrats come to the U.S. Capitol today to actually implore Senate Democrats to pass House Bill 1, to pass the John Lewis Act. They have a luncheon on Capitol Hill. All Democrat senators show up, except Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. I'm just trying to understand how arrogant they are. And check this out. Then a couple of other state officials from Texas meet with Senator Joe Manchin. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't meet with him. They meet with his staff. He wouldn't even meet with them. Do y'all see how shameful and despicable this is? Let's go to my panel. Ben Dixon, host, Benjamin Dixon Show podcast, Teresa Lundy, principal founder, TML Communications, Mustafa Santiago Ali, PhD, former senior advisor for environmental justice, EPA. And so we're also efforting to get one of those state officials on the show to talk about their meetings on Capitol Hill today. But Ben, how trash, how pathetic and shameful is Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin when these Texas Democrats come to Capitol Hill to talk about how they thwarted the passage of a Republican-led voter suppression bill, and these two don't even show up for the luncheon. All 48 other Democrat senators show up, but these two don't.
When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, they have shown us repeatedly exactly who they are. They might have the Democrat D by their name, but they're certainly there on behalf of the Republican Party. When they reach across the aisle, they're not reaching across the aisle to get Republicans to turn in our favor. They're continuously reaching towards us to pull us closer to the Republican Party. And the fact that they would not show up to these meetings this morning means that there's a certain level of condescension, casual dismissal of not only elected officials, but if they did this to elected officials, imagine what they do to the people. And so they feel like they have no responsibility whatsoever to answer on behalf or answer to the people because they don't feel like they have to answer to the other elected officials.
I mean, it's unbelievable, Teresa, when you see just how shameful these two are. So you are too good to attend the luncheon, to listen to these Texas Democrats describe in detail the voter suppression bills. That's just unbelievable. And again, this is I'm going to pull this up. This is the tweet from Ari Berman, who is a voting rights journalist. Manchin and Sinema didn't attend Senate Dem lunch where Texas Democrats spoke about need to pass For the People Act to stop GOP voter suppression.
Yeah, I totally agree with my colleague. If they do show you who you are, it doesn't matter, if you're in an elected position or if you're just a regular citizen, these individuals just showed that they just didn't care. And it's just interesting to see because we are such in a critical space right now where, even if we don't take the listening component about the bill, I think we're, even missing the mark when we start looking at some of these elected officials and what we are asking them to do. We already know half of them, read legislation and when they co-sponsor it. So to not even take a lunch, just a slap in the face to everybody who voted for them.
This is one of the folks out there who responded, Mustafa. Manchin didn't bother to meet with Texas Democrats regarding the damage that new Texas voting laws would do to Texans if the For the People Act doesn't pass. What is wrong with that man?
It's extremely disrespectful. Senator Manchin has shared with the country that he still had folks he wanted to talk to. He wanted to garner more information so that he could make an informed decision. and he wants to go through this process. But yet folks who are in the thick of it in Texas spent their time, spent their resources to actually come to Washington, D.C. and have substantive conversations about what's going on in their respective state. And he's shown you exactly how he feels about these individuals and many others who have been advocating for him to actually begin to move forward in a way that's actually more protective of the country. So this is nothing new. You know, he will continue to share with folks, that he's still trying to, get everybody's perspective. So I guess what he's really saying is that these folks' perspective is not that important to his overall analysis.
This here was a tweet that Ari Berman put out. 68% of Americans support For the People Act, including a majority of Republicans. It has bipartisan support among the public. Reporters should point that out when GOP senators lie that it isn't popular. Ben, it's amazing what happens when you got facts.
Right. But I mean, it shows the extent to which they're willing to ignore the facts. They're willing to distort the truth. They're willing to use half-truths, not only the Republican Party, but Sinema and Manchin. Because if you think about it, there's always about this 30% of Americans voting electorate that aligns with the bigotry, the absurdity. They align with Trumpism. They align in opposition to H.R. 1. So who is Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin? Who are you really serving? Because you're not even serving a majority of Republicans. You're serving that faction, that far right-wing faction that does not want black people to vote in this country. So how do they expect us to see them as allies when they're aligning with our enemies?
Especially when you won't even meet with the state legislators who can give you an understanding of what's happening.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Everything and nothing at the same time.
You're looking great.
Thank you.
What is it about all these black folks in Essence that's just so different and special?
And think what?
What's so special about and unique with all the black folks, the black love here at Essence?
That is fun. That is fun. That is all black love. That's what's significant and different about it. It's pure.
And then, of course, you got all the sisters.
I'm sorry?
Then, of course, you got all the sisters as well.
Exactly. And brothers.
Oh, yeah. Things going well for you?
It's going real well for me. God's been real good to me. Still being good to me. I'm just doing what I got to do.
Oh, it's always good seeing you.
Well, thank you so much. I love this.
We got to mix it up a little bit.
I love that. I feel you, baby.
If you ain't regular, you can't have regular pockets well.
All right, folks, each and every single day here on Roland Martin Unfiltered, we're going to feature that Essence Festival Coca-Cola throwback moment leading up to, of course, this year's 2021 virtual Essence Festival. Because of COVID, they're not having the big gathering in New Orleans, but they will be virtual. And so on June 26th and June 27th, two weekends, June 26th, June 27th, July 3rd, July 4th. Essence Festival will be virtual. You can simply go to their YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and go to essence.com to actually watch it. You're going to have the workshops in the daytimes beginning at 2 p.m. And then, of course, the concerts beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern every single night, going until 10 p.m. And so we look forward to sharing with you some of our throwback moments. That, of course, was Shaka Khan from the 2016 Essence Festival. So we've got some great stuff dipping into my archives to show you. And we're going to do that every single day right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And we're going to be sharing photos on my social media. So go to Instagram, go to Facebook and Twitter, Snapchat. You'll be able to see those throwback moments as well. And so we're going to give you guys an email to share some of your Essence Festival throwback photos and video that we're going to be sharing with the audience. And we certainly look forward to doing that.